All right, all right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Happy Friday. We made it to the weekend. You guys know Friday is my favorite day. I'm done with the work week. It is what it is. I'm just going to tweet this out really quick. I hope everyone had a nice week and I hope you are ready for the weekend because I know I am. I live for this, man. I live for this. All right, all right. Let's see. Making sure I'm not in 3D mode. God knows I don't want that to happen again. Okay. I look normal. What's going on, guys? I just want to give shout outs to people in the chat. Hello, pitchforks are coming. Good evening to you. What's going on, Black People Unite? Gavin Newsom is horrible. AOC really sold out. Oh, Bill Bradley, what's going on? Pleasure to see you. I'm not sure AOC sold out. I have a feeling she was always the same power hungry person and she just played the voters. She is good at delivering a chic she never bought into. Reasons known and unknown. Well, what's going on, Troy C? Great to see you again. Well, she's a fakey snaky anyway. Greetings, Echo J. I wonder why Nancy P has that one of their putting her neck out for Newsom when Nancy is the California rep. We'll get into that, Echo J. We will get into that. Greetings, Greg Bruce, who's a Sabby member. AOC is a well-behaved Democrat. Whoop. What's going on, Gamer for Life? How are you? What's going on, Phenomenal Mysticism? Hello, Sabby, once again. That's right. On Fridays, you get double doses of Sabby, one on FHL and one here. Greetings, Nico. Hello, Malik. Always a pleasure to see you. What's going on? Greetings, Valerie. Hello again. Hello again, Delthea Simmons, who's a Sabby member. Shout out to everyone in the chat. That's right, Troy C. I'm doing double duty. Friday is a busy day for me. Yep. What's going on, Matt? He said, I'm here too, Sabs. Hello, greetings. And what is going on, Sam S5? Hello, everyone in the chat. Welcome to Sabby Sabs Podcast. I'm your host, Sabrina Salvati. If you are new, Sabby Sabs Podcast is a part of the Fred Hampton Leftist Network. You can find me there on Thursdays for the Roundtable and Friday for the Sabby Sabs Show. And you can find me here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday evening. And yes, I do have a beer tonight. That's kind of my Friday thing. I am drinking, what is this? I should know what I have. It is called Copper Legend by Jack's Abbey. And it's in Oktoberfest. That's right. The Oktoberfest and the pumpkin ales are already out. They start bringing them out in August now. It's like crazy how early they come out now. It's a bit ridiculous. Yeah. Gamer for Life said, cool, Sabby, enjoy it for me. I will. Yeah, traffic was crazy today, so I was running a little late. It just is what it is, but typical Friday. I don't know why, but traffic is always really heavy on Friday here. All right, so I am going to get into tonight's topics. Let me go ahead and pull up my thumbnail because this week has been really interesting for news because I honestly, sometimes I have difficulty picking out which stories I want to talk about. And that's because there's just so much craziness going on. And I'm just like, do I talk about this? Do I talk about that? Like, but I chose these three and I want to hear what you guys have to say about it because there's a lot going on. Let me go ahead and share my screen, pulling up my thumbnail. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Tonight, we are discussing Biden mandate, Yang third party, and AOC demands support for Newsom. Oh my God, so cringe. It's so cringe. So, as you guys know, I will be using my code word called jab because of YT uh, censorship. So when I say jab in reference to the Biden situation, that is what I am referring to. All right. I think I'm going to start with the Biden story first. Let's start with that. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my video because this, I don't know why the volume was on. As you guys know, Joe Biden, as of yesterday, has come out and has said that he is going to implement a jab mandate. Now, this is going to get really tricky because I know people have different feelings about this. I personally feel as though I get the point that he's trying to get across, but at the same time, I don't think people should be forced to do this. There are several reasons for that. Let me go ahead and get my video ready. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So I want you to listen to the speech that he gave. I'm only going to show a certain part of it. So let me stop sharing and share my video because I am very concerned and worried because I feel like Joe Biden is pretending like he's king. He's not king. He's president. He's elected by the people. He's supposed to serve the people, even though we know they serve corporations, but he's supposed to serve the people. And now it's like he's trying to dictate to us what we should do with our lives. Now, I am not anti-jab. I want to make that very clear. I am not anti-jab. However, I do not like the way that this is going, and I'm going to go ahead and play this now. Let me go ahead and mute my mic.
Rule to require all employers labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated or show a negative test at least once a week. Some of the biggest companies are already requiring this. United Airlines, Disney, Tyson's Food, and even Fox News. The bottom line, we're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers. We're going to reduce the spread of COVID-19 by increasing the share of the workforce that is vaccinated in businesses all across America. My plan will extend the vaccination requirements that I previously issued in the healthcare field. Already, I've announced we'll be requiring vaccinations at all nursing home workers who treat patients on Medicare and Medicaid because I have that federal authority. Tonight, I'm using that same authority to expand that to cover those who work in hospitals, home health care facilities, or other medical facilities, a total of 17 million healthcare workers. If you're seeking care at a health facility, you should be able to know that the people treating you are vaccinated. Simple, straightforward, period. Next, I will sign an executive order that will now require all executive branch federal employees to be vaccinated, all. And I've signed another executive order that will require federal contractors to do the same. If you want to work with the federal government and do business with us, get vaccinated. If you want to do business with the federal government, vaccinate your workforce. And tonight, I'm removing one of the last remaining obstacles that make it difficult for you to get vaccinated. The Department of Labor will require employers with 100 or more workers to give those workers paid time off to get vaccinated. No one should lose pay in order to get vaccinated or take a loved one to get vaccinated. Today, in total, the vaccine requirements in my plan will affect about 100 million Americans, 2/3 of all workers. And for other sectors, I issue this appeal to those of you running large entertainment venues, from sports arenas to concert venues to movie theaters. Please require folks to get vaccinated or show a negative test as a condition of entry. And to the nation's family physicians, pediatricians, GPs, general practitioners, you're the most trusted medical voice to your patients. You may be the one person who can get someone to change their mind about being vaccinated. Tonight, I'm asking each of you to reach out to your unvaccinated patients over the next 2 weeks and make a personal appeal to them to get the shot. America needs your personal involvement in this critical effort.
Okay. Here's the problem. I myself got the jab. It was not by choice. I was required to do so by my employer. I probably would have gotten it anyway, but it just made me feel some kind of way that I was forced to do it. Like I didn't have an option. So again, I am not anti-jab, but I personally don't think people should be forced to do it. So he's requiring all companies that have over 100 people, government jobs, that they're going to have to get it in order to keep their job. Now, here's the problem that I have. Couple of things. Number one, when I think about the government employees, it reminds me of like my own family. My dad was military. He retired. One of the things I can tell you about government jobs is they're very diverse. There are a lot of Black people that have government jobs. In the Black community, not everybody, but some of us do not feel comfortable getting new jabs because of the history of our people, because of what has happened before in the past with new jabs and what it's done to African Americans. Look up the Tuskegee experiment. So now you are faced with this rule where like you could have had that job. You could have been working for the government for 10, 15 years. And now you may lose your job just because you don't want to get this, because you don't want to get it. And some people have concerns about it. And I understand that. And I get it. And I understand where it's coming from. But the fact that people could lose their jobs if they don't get it, I don't agree with forcing people, guys. I don't agree with forcing people. If they force people to do this, what else are they going to force us to do later on? What else are they going to do? I'm going to go to some of the comments in the chat. Nico P said, like I said, I wouldn't have mind getting it, but on my own terms. That's the thing. It's just like, why? Now, I know some people are saying that, well, it helps prevent the spread. Can I tell you guys a little secret? I already know two people that got it and still got the 1.9. Doesn't necessarily mean you can't get it if you get the jab. That's the thing. And I want people to understand that. Again, I'm not anti-jab, but I'm just thinking about government control. I'm thinking about the government saying you must get this, you must do this. I feel like we're heading into some of those end of the world movies or futuristic movies like Gattaca. Government says you have to do this, you have to do it. Another reason why some people are not getting it is because of religious reasons. Is that going to be excluded? Is that going to be an exception? Some people don't get these because of religion, because of religious reasons. What do? Do you hold on to your faith and quit your job and hope you can find another job? But by the way, if other companies are starting to do this too, it might be difficult for you to find another employer that's not going to require it. What do? Or do you forget your beliefs? You put that aside and do it so that you can keep your job. Quaker Socialist said, this is so effed up. This is a single step strategy that never mentions any other of the multiple important strategies. It's so stupid. Going to more comments in the chat. Brenda V said, I'm not anti-jab, but mandates are scary. Yeah, it's like the word, like just again, forcing people. Telling doctors to tell their patients who don't have it to get it. There are times when doctors have encouraged and urged their patients to do things and to get things, and it didn't work out so well. I think about a lot of new medications. I mentioned this before on the show about birth control. I told you guys this one time before that over the past couple of years, there were different forms of birth control that has come out. The patch was one. The Norplant was one. That one went into your arm. And then a couple years later, the FDA would come back and be like, you would see like these medical lawsuits, these class action lawsuits, the commercials on TV saying, if you took the patch, if you use Norplant between the years of such and such and such and such, you may be eligible for a class action lawsuit. But it was approved by the FDA. I used to work for a company called Biogen. It's a pharma company back in the day. They came out with this drug called Tecfidera. It was new. It was the only oral medication for MS at that time. It was a big deal. We had a whole celebration over it. The department did. After FDA approval, huge celebration. And then a year or two later, came back with negative side effects. Biogen lost a lot of money over that, and they had to lay off a lot of people because at some of those pharma companies, your job is depending on how well those drugs perform in the market. So when those drugs don't do well, that can affect your employment. But the FDA approved that too. We're seeing women file class action lawsuits against Johnson & Johnson. Now, this is a big one because Johnson & Johnson is a huge company over baby powder. This product has been on the shelf as long as I can remember. I remember seeing baby powder in the store when I was like a kid. Johnson & Johnson baby powder. Come to find out that that baby powder was causing women to have ovarian cancer. That was FDA approved too. Now, again, I am not anti-jab, but there's just something in me that makes me cringe when you are forcing people to do these things. That's the problem that I have. And I'm pretty sure some people are going to lose their jobs because of this. And we're going to have more people unemployed. It's a sad thing. I'm gonna go to some of the comments in the chat. I saw you guys say some couple of things that was pretty interesting. Echo J said Moreno was like that. I almost got it and so glad I didn't have the $200 copay for the ultrasound required before implantation. Yep. That's what I tell people, like with birth control, like if it came out within the past 10 years, it's new, forget it. No. Too many cases have come out. Too many. Eric said, bad Biogen fired Sabs. No, they didn't fire. I was contract. And then I got another job while I was working there. So I had to peace out. Brenda said, I agree with you, Sabby. If they can mandate, AKA force something, they'll force anything. It's a give up your freedoms experiment. What about our freedom? What about choice? Impossibly Black said those mandates were for much more debilitating diseases. C19 is not even in the same league. Must be in reference to Valerie's statement. Lisa said all the women who had their breasts cut out because their doctor found a minuscule suspicious lump that your granny probably lived her whole life with. Wow, Lisa. Wow. So that's another one. It's another thing to think about. Karen said, I call my own shots. You tell him, Karen. Eric Thomas is correct. Pharma runs U.S. government. Absolutely. Yes. This is why people like Clyburn and Joe Biden, they both take a lot of money from big pharma. I think Clyburn takes more than Biden does. This is why they don't want to implement Medicare for all. They don't want everybody to have health care in this country. They really don't. Because they know that if they do that, then that means that that's going to affect the pharma companies. And if that's where you're getting a lot of your donations from for your campaigns, that's going to hurt you. It's all about them. The way the prices for some of these medications in this country is absolutely ridiculous. No reason insulin should be the cost that it is. No reason an EpiPen should cost $500 if you don't have insurance. And I only know that because I had a lapse in insurance and I was prescribed an EpiPen. $500. I can guarantee you it doesn't cost $500 to make it. They are getting over. You can go to Canada and not have this issue. Not have this issue. Going to some of the comments in the chat. I thought I saw LT the third says healthcare needs to be socialized. I have no idea why it isn't done yet. For profit healthcare and weapons fuel Wall Street. Yep. That's also why they don't really want to try to, fix climate change. They don't want to improve this. Because the military, if you really wanted to help the climate, you wouldn't do drone strikes. The military industrial complex is the largest polluter in the world. Yeah, it's great that you recycle. I recycle. That's good. But that is nothing. That is nothing compared to the damage that the military does on the environment. So even though we recycle, we're not even putting a dent in climate change. Delthea Simmons said, it's not the science, it's the capitalism. The FDA will bow to pressure when pharma needs profit. I just gave you guys a list of three to four different medications that were all approved by the FDA and ended up having class action lawsuits because of the side effects. Going to some of the comments in the chat. Carlos said there's a way around the system. You can get around it if you want to. Just gotta want it bad enough. Deep Moody Purple Blue said forced drugging is a crime, according to the decisions reached during the Nuremberg trials, if not mistaken. Like, how can you make someone, man? Like, really? This man is really not trying to win in 2024. People are going to remember this. I'm going to tell you guys, it's not just Republicans that have a problem with this. I've heard from some Democrats and some independents that are not too keen on this mandate. Christy Knight said EpiPen pharmaceutical industry expert estimate that the medicine and its auto injector, for which Mylan charges roughly $300 a pop, cost around $30 to produce. There you go. 30 bucks. And they're charging us all this money for it. Leslie said, don't let the elite blame you for the climate problem. MIC, military industrial complex, is a big part of the problem. Absolutely. The things that we're doing are small compared to what the military industrial complex does to the climate. Every time they go overseas and they do drone strikes, every time, if they really wanted to help with climate change, do you think that Joe Biden would still be okay with fracking? They don't care. They're not going to be here. They're not going to be alive when these effects take place. They don't care. You think they'd care, like, especially if you have family, you have grandkids, you think they would care about their grandchildren and the world, what the world is going to be like for them. It's all about the money. All about the money. Thanks so much for the super chat, Jamal. Did you see Chris Cuomo praise Biden and Don Lemon? I have not seen that yet. I heard about it, but it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. They're hacks. They're paid to support the establishment. Period. Now, people say that there's a difference between Fox News and CNN. They both support corporate. Maybe different parties, but they're both supporting establishment candidates. Thanks so much for the super chat. Yeah, Narissa said, Sabby, did you see the BJG interview with Dr. Jill Stein? Not yet. I saw a clip of it on Twitter, but I haven't watched it yet. I need to watch that. Thank you for the reminder. Because the clip I saw, they were talking about third parties, so I definitely want to see that. So this is my thing on it. But I'm telling you guys again, Biden really is not trying to win in 2024. All of the things that he's doing. And I can bet you right now, Trump's probably sitting back saying, look at what he's making you do. Because some of the things that Trump said Biden was going to do, we see Biden is doing it. Now, I'm not a fan of Trump, but exactly, Valerie, all mainstream media is the same. The same. They all support corporate. They all support establishment. They have donors too. Ramsey said Sabby got 2 shows today. Yes. So on Fridays, I do double time. I go on FHL and then I do my show here. I didn't last week though because orientation, like it was a really busy week at work with the students and everything. So last week was like, whoa. Uh-oh, I missed my whoopsie. I was just about to click on a comment and it disappeared. I have to figure that out. But yeah, I'm telling you, man, I've already talked to people. I've already been talking to independents. I've already been talking to Democrats. Some of them not too happy about this. Joy Duncan said no Medicare for all, no $15 minimum wage, no student debt forgiveness, but we got a jab mandate. Do you guys see the problem? Do you see why people are so frustrated with Joe Biden? They care more about sending someone to space. They care more about let's make everybody get a jab instead of fixing the underlying issues. You can do all of these things. You can get the jab. But if you don't have health care, if you don't have health insurance, that's a bigger problem. Because if you get it, if you get the 1-9 and you end up in the ER, like many people have, and you don't have health insurance, do you guys get what I'm saying? Because I said this before, just because you get the jab doesn't mean you won't get it. I already know 2 people in that situation right now. I know one of them has been in the ER. They have health insurance. What about the people who get it and don't? So you have to fix the underlying issues. You have to fix the root cause. You can get all the jabs in the world. If you don't have health insurance, you're in trouble in this country. If you're underinsured, you're in trouble in this country. Try going to the emergency room without health insurance. Has anybody ever received a bill from an ER visit and you didn't have health insurance? I have. It took me months to pay that bill. Narissa said I was in the ER, no insurance with side effects from the jab. I know another person that had to go through that as well. I know Spade. I know Spade. I'm about to move on. I'm about to move on. I know. I know. We can't even, I have to code things. It's so sad. It's so sad. Wuhan Institute of Virology said if you're in this country, you're in trouble in this country. Damn. Eric said jab doesn't prevent serious symptoms. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Abortu said they charged my mom $20K for a 2-hour visit. What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? Fix the healthcare problem. Give everybody health insurance in this country. The Pong Linus said the establishment is in a hurry to consolidate wealth, power, and other resources before the shit hits the fan in the near future. I don't think they care about elections. I don't think these people want to win. Like, have you guys ever thought about that? Like, I don't think Democrats actually want to win. They just want the money. Fundraise, fundraise. Donate to my campaign. One Kitty Six said, I voted for only Green Party candidates and I wasn't the only one, and I wasn't, oh, I'm okay. I'm the only one who wasted their vote. Nothing wrong with voting green. Got to switch to third parties, man. I'm telling you guys. Joy said Nancy and other politicians making a killing during this pandemic while millions face homelessness and over 500,000 already are. Think of the children. You know, all those times when they tell us, but what about the children? You hear that a lot. What about the children? They're not trying to prevent those children that they care so much about from losing their homes, from being out in the street. Do you think we have enough homeless shelters for all the people that are being evicted? Because we don't. Quaker Socialist said everybody keeps talking as if there are two parties, win era or losers. There are no losers if Democrats are not in office. Ooh, damn. Wow. Deep. Misha Q, thanks so much for the super chat. The people that believe the mandates are because they care about our health, clowns. No, they don't. They don't. There's other things I can say, but I can't really say it on here. But I'll just say go Google how much these companies that produce these jabs, go Google how much they're making from this. Go check that out. Thank you so much for the super chat. Little Rock Elevators. Uh-oh, where'd you go? Little Rock Elevators said, I predicted this back in November. If Biden won, he was going to make the employers make the employees take the jab. Get ready to see more now hiring signs. You will. You will. But you called it. Absolutely. And this also goes to show you how Biden can assert his power when he wants to. See how he can make these executive orders when he really wants to? But when it comes to things that a lot of us need in this country, like healthcare for everybody, student loan debt, canceling student loan debt, giving Black people reparations, when it comes to those things, all of a sudden it's, I can't do that. Nancy Pelosi says the president can't do that. Nancy Pelosi said Biden can't cancel student loan debt. That's actually not true. They said he can't implement, universal health care for everybody. That's actually not true either. Because he can do the same thing that they did in Libby, Montana. And he can use the excuse because we were in a pandemic. He doesn't want to. He uses his executive power only when he wants to. He doesn't use it to really give us anything. He's talking about, I'm here to help the people. He's taking things from us. He's taking away our freedoms. He's taking away our choices. It's absolutely horrific that we have lost control. I am going to move on to the second story. Oh, but wait, I do have to show you guys this. So Cenk Uygur from TYT, my favorite person. Not. He had something to say about this. And I'm going to share my screen and show you guys what he said. Because he is either choosing not to hear what people are saying about your freedom of choice, or he's just being a simp for Biden. Check this out. So Cenk Uygur said, if you're fighting against taking jabs or using masks, you're not some sort of noble warrior against tyranny. You're more like a dumbass who doesn't want to use a condom. There is a huge difference being principled and being ignorant. You guys see this? He's comparing taking the jab to using a condom. Let me tell you something. Condoms break, Jink. How can you compare the two? I don't think it's right to call people dumb either. People have the right to have concerns. He's just simping for Biden, just simping for Biden. Because let's pretend it wasn't Biden that did this. Let's pretend, and this wouldn't happen, but let's pretend that it was Trump who did this. Would Jink still make that comment? No, he'd be heavily against it. He'd be talking about how Jink is basically, or excuse me, how Trump is trying to control us, how he's a tyrant. That's what Jink would say. I'm so tired. I'm just so sick of the hypocrisy, man. When you call it out, you got to call it out on both sides. You don't just call it out when it's the other party. Some of the comments in the chat are hilarious. You guys are so funny. Greg Bruce, who's a Sabby member, says, we know exactly what condoms. We know exactly what condoms do. The jab, not so much. Phenomenal Mysticism said a condom is more effective than the COVID jab, Jink. What an idiot. Oh my God. This is where we're at now, guys. This is where we're at now. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? How easily they turn to simp for Biden. The same people who told us that we need to be in this movement, that we need to fight for these issues, now just ready to sit back down and eat brunch. Well, I'm not. And I'm going to continue fighting for these issues. Because I don't know about you guys, and I posted this on Twitter earlier today. My life is not any better under Joe Biden's America. Nothing has improved for me in my life. Still have the same problems in this country that we had before Biden was president. So I'm not jumping on that Biden train. I know some people are doing that because that's where all the money is right now. No, boo. No. All right, now for real, I'm actually going to go to the second story. Andrew Yang is back in the news. Now, I saw this yesterday and I was like, wait, is this for real? I was like, wait a minute. I was like, no way this is real. But it is. And so here we are. Let me share my screen. Now, I have different opinions about Andrew Yang. When Andrew Yang was running for president, I liked some of the things that he had to say. I was like, yeah, it makes sense that we need to be prepared for automation. I've been seeing this on my end as well. I told you guys, like, I've worked in engineering departments and these things are happening. So I thought that he was, when it came to like talking about technology, he was very well versed in that. He kind of lost me when he was running for mayor of New York, because that's when I realized that he was very pro cop and I'm not. I'm not pro cop. And some of the comments that he made during his election were during his campaign for mayor of New York were questionable to me. But now he is back in the news for a different reason. Andrew Yang to launch a third party. The presidential candidate turned New York City mayor hopeful is no longer identifying as a Democrat. Let me scroll down. Former presidential and New York mayoral candidate Andrew Yang is set to launch a third party next month. Next month, guys. This is happening fast. According to two people familiar with the matter, Yang is expected to start the party in conjunction with the October 5th release of his new book, Forward: Notes on the Future of Our Democracy. I have a comment about that. I'll tell you in just a second. It is not clear what the name of Yang's third party will be or how he plans to deploy it in 2022 or 2024. Yang and his team did not respond to requests for comment. But the book publisher Crown did give some clues about the type of platform Yang may pursue. It writes that the book is an indictment of America's era of institutional failure and will introduce us to the various priests of decline of America, including politicians whose incentives have become divorced from the people they supposedly serve. Yang surprised many in the political world with creative outsider campaigns for both president and mayor. His presidential campaign outlasted and raised more money than those of much more seasoned politicians. But ultimately, that did not translate to votes as he dropped out shortly after the New Hampshire primary and faded into the polls as the mayor race came to a close. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to pop out. I want to get you guys, I want to get your opinion on this. Because I, for one, hold on. I, for one, am 100% for third parties. Been pretty vocal about that. But the fact that he's launching this third party with the release of a new book is just kind of like, do you want to start a third party or is this just to promote your book? He doesn't have a name for the party, doesn't really have much information about it. I just don't know. Thanks so much, Roger Meadows, for the super chat. Grow worker co-ops in all states to replace cores and surpass unions at the height of power, 1930s through 1970s, to be the financial juggernaut and watch us own these parties. Thanks so much, Roger, for the super chat. The power lies in the people. We're more powerful than we realize. We got to get our feet in the streets. Now, Andrew Yang saying that he's no longer Democrat, that's cool with me. Neither am I. I guess he kind of looks at it as though he ran twice. Ran for president, ran for mayor. And maybe there were things that he started to see along the way that we've been talking about for a long time. That when you run in the Democratic Party, your loyalty is to the Democratic Party. Look at the squad. We see this, guys. Again, a lot of times people have good intentions going in, but then they get consumed by the Democratic Party and they start behaving just like the establishment Democrats. Look at what AOC is doing right now with Gavin Newsom. I'm going to get into that in a second. That's our third story. So for me, I'm all for third parties. I kind of question it because it's Andrew Yang. And the question I want to pose to all of you, should he start a new third party? Or should we try to consolidate the third parties that we already have? That's a question that has come up multiple times. For example, the Green Party, they need some help. Let's just be real. They need some help. They need help with advertising because they don't get their name out enough. They need help with candidate selection. They need to have candidates that have a big name. Now, Jill Stein was a great candidate. But we need somebody who is well known enough to draw a crowd. We need somebody like a Dr. Cornel West. We need someone like him to run third party. Because if you have someone that has name recognition and they run third party, then they can really get the attention. The third party can really get the attention that they need, that they're trying to get. Problem is, a lot of times in the past, we haven't had that, with the exception of Jesse Ventura. Oh, Jesse Ventura, again, still he's known. You need somebody huge. Someone huge. Valerie said Yang is an idiot. We can't get enough people to vote green no matter who. And now MPP refuses to work with Paula Swearigan already. Wait, what? Now MPP refuses to work with Green / Paula Swearigan already. What are we going to do with another impotent third party? So that was the question that I posed. Should we try to consolidate these third parties that we have? Maybe bringing everybody together. I don't know. Greg Bruce says, I think Yang sees a money-making opportunity. You know, it's like it's associated with a book. It's like, so are you trying to do this third party, or is this a way of promoting your book? The book thing with it just makes it seem disingenuous to me. Shout out to Roger Meadows for the super chat. Oh, sorry. I went back somehow. Did I go back? I don't know what I did. I think I said this already. Roger, didn't I say this already? I don't know. I think I did. I did say this already. But I really want to Indy Left. Hello, guys. Say hello to Indy Left. Indy Left is awesome. He created the Fred Hampton Leftist newsletter, you guys. I keep forgetting to mention that, but we do have a newsletter. So definitely check that out. Hi, Indy. Trace says libertarians are the most organized third party. Interesting. Now, people keep asking, do we have enough people for a third party to work? I'm going to show you a poll. I want you guys to see this. Hope this is big enough for my screen. Yeah, it is. Okay. I want you guys to see this poll, because when people keep saying that third parties can't win, I mean, obviously, you know, there is a challenge. You have to get on the ballot in every state. That's a challenge for some people. But the fact that people may not vote third party, I disagree with that. Times are changing. And I want to show you this picture. Check this out. You may have seen this. You may have not. Who's to know? Get this, guys. Is the current two-party system working in American politics today, or does there need to be a more viable third party to have an effective political system? Check this out. The current two-party system is working. That's the blue color here. And there needs to be a more viable third party to have an effective political system. That's the red color here. 40% in this poll say the current two-party system is working. Guys, 60% of Americans say there needs to be a more viable third party. 60% of Americans want a third party. 60%. Now, this poll was taken September 2020. September 2020, you guys, while Trump was still in office. And we were headed into November election. That goes to tell you that even then, that's how jaded people felt about having to choose between Trump and Biden. Just like having to choose between Trump and Hillary. That just goes to show you 60% at that time said we need a third party. 60% of Americans. I said it before, I'll say it again. Biden won because the economy was tanked, because we had a pandemic. Had it not been for that, Trump would have won again. Trump would have won again. Valerie said Paula Jean Swearingen is saying that MPP is having nothing to do with Green Party. We need one viable third party. It's one of those things. I mean, what would work best? E. Heller said the latest Gallup Party affiliation poll has independent voters at 40%, while red and blue are high 20s. What I tell you, I was talking about independent voters the other night, actually, or that was last week, that Biden is losing independent voters. His approval rating is tanking amongst independents. Some of that have to do with Afghanistan. But some of that just has to do with him just nothing has improved. Nothing has improved. Monique in London said Nick has said before that the People's Party will work with the Greens. So we got to figure that out, Which is it? Mr. X said, I'm an independent. Me too. Greetings. Greetings, independents. KRTD Media, what's up? Says there is too much baggage with every third party. What we need is for them to all come together with a new name and elect new leaders, something people can trust. It's interesting. Joy Duncan said China has been controlled by one party, the Chinese Communist Party, for 70 years. And it appears that the U.S. is run by one party, the corporate party. That's where we are. That is where we are. Little Rock said, I stopped voting Democrat after 2012. Obama was a disappointment. There you go. Yeah. Obama broke my heart. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Obama really broke my heart. That one was tough. Alice Hamers, who's a Sabby member, said in Arizona, if you register green, your registration reads other. Well, damn. What have we ventured into the unknown? Just other. Wow, that's a doozy. That is a doozy. Shout out to Roger Meadows for the super chat. New parties need mass funding to be competitive. Worker co-ops is a moral choice to replace corporations, represent direct democracy in the workplace, and be the money stream. This is something we really need to look into, you guys, is worker co-ops. Because we have to get to the point now where we have to take matters into our own hands. We can't just sit back and rely on politicians to do it for us because they're not. Hell, Joe Biden flat out told you if the Medicare for All bill came across his desk, he'd veto it. I'm going to do a show next week about an update on the October general strike. The name has changed and the demands have changed and there's more steps involved. It does have an organization now. So I'm going to give you an update on that, along with some housing information that actually Roger Meadows sent to me about what wage is required to that's funny. What wage is required to live in your state, to afford like a 1-bedroom, like in your state, and how that should be the push to increase minimum wage. It's all of this is connected. Little Rock Elevator said, can we put Sabby and Jimmy Dore on the ballot for 2024? I would never run for office. I've seen so much corrupt. I've just seen too much. I've seen so much just the dirtiness, the dark money, the corruption. But that's really sweet. Shout out to Roger Meadows for the super chat. I say that because looking at third parties is step 2. There you go. Eric Thomas, who's a Sabby member, says with ranked choice voting, independent candidates could win. That is true. We had ranked choice voting on the ballot in Massachusetts in November, and unfortunately, it did not pass. But the reason why it didn't pass is most people I talked to said they didn't even understand the ballot question. That can be done on purpose, by the way. They word the question in a way that confuses you so you don't say yes. It happens. It does. But that was unfortunate, man. I really thought we were going to get that here because some places already have it. Philip said, for me, I stopped voting Democrat after the Democrat cheated Bernie. It showed me that Democrats don't want change. Now I'm all for third parties. No, they don't want real change. They just want to do little things. Little things. And people said this before, like they want to give you crumbs. They don't really want to give you a loaf. They want to do little things to make it look like they're doing something, but they're not really, you know. Exactly. Eric said Dems are bought. 100%. 100%. Greg said third parties can win locally. Local politics are important. That is true. I do encourage you guys, like, if you do want to run for office, I encourage people to run for local politics, run for city council, run for mayor, because you can make differences in those positions. I have seen people become city councilors and make drastic changes. So, and then you're really helping your community, your local community. I have one more story for you guys. Excuse me, my voice is like, woof. I have one more story for you guys, and it's about AOC. So, AOC, before I get into the video that she made about Gavin Newsom, I think that it's important for me to tell you guys why there is a recall happening in California to begin with. So let me start with that. I'm going to share my screen because this is important. If you don't know this, this is important for you guys to know. Because Gavin Newsom has never been one of my faves anyway. But check this out. Go away, get away. Newsom's nightmare, how one November day fueled the recall. Let me scroll down. I'm just going to get straight to the point here. On a single day last November, 2 events, make this bigger. Boom. Hopefully you guys can see it. Yeah, you can. All right, 2 events set the course for just the second recall election against a governor in California history. Gavin Newsom dined with 11 friends and lobbyists at one of the country's most expensive restaurants as he pleaded with Californians to stay home, while those looking to kick him out of office won 4 more months to qualify for the ballot. Photos of a maskless dinner showed the Democratic governor going against what he had been urging for months to combat the virus. Don't gather in groups, keep your distance, wear a mask. That is what happening. That is what happening at the French Laundry, where the cheapest meal is $350. Fueled the idea Newsom was out of touch. The dinner turned up the heat on the fledgling recall, and the extra time allowed it to reach full boil. By March, organizers had more than 1.5 million signatures. They needed to force a vote on whether to remove the first term Democratic governor in the nation's biggest blue state. So let me pop out. I thought it was important to explain that to you so you know why this is happening to begin with. All right. Now, we need to get into the AOC video because, gosh, she is really, really, really simping now. So AOC made a video about Gavin Newsom because Gavin Newsom, the recall is going on and Larry Elder is running against him. Larry Elder's a Republican. I'm not a fan of Larry Elder either. I just want to put that out there, make that very clear. I think both of them are terrible. But she made this video. Let me share my screen because I saw this and I was like, this is absolutely awful. This is just awful. She's completely simping for the Dems. All right. So let me show you the video first, and then I'm going to show you what Danny Haiphong said in reference to this. So Gavin Newsom tweeted, listen to AOC, grab your ballot, vote no, and mail it by September 14th. There's too much on the line. Make sure your voice is heard. All right, let me mute my mic, and I want you guys to listen to this.
No, stick that sucker right back. Yes, now listen, if you live in California, there's probably a ballot in your mailbox on a recall election. Please find that thing, vote no, stick that sucker right back in your mailbox because the options are back. Yes, now listen, if you live in California, there's probably a ballot in your mailbox on a recall election. Please find that thing, vote no, stick that sucker right back in your mailbox because the options are back. Yes, now listen, if you
There she is, encouraging people to vote, telling everybody to go out there for Gavin Newsom. Now, you may wonder, why is that problematic? Let me show you who Gavin Newsom is. Let me share my screen. Danny Haiphong put it perfectly. Listen to this. Instead of force the vote for Medicare for all or rent cancellation, AOC demands that the people of California support a corporate Democrat who is against both policies. Whoever tells me that I shouldn't be angry about this is no friend of progressive principles or movements. Again, Gavin Newsom does not support Medicare for all or rent cancellation. And this is the guy that AOC is telling everybody to go out there and support. At this point in time, we have to stop calling them progressives. We have to stop at this point. Gavin Newsom is related to Nancy Pelosi, guys. Surprise, surprise. Of course, right? Of course. AOC has not only gone from supporting Nancy Pelosi to calling her Mama Bear to now telling people to go and support Nancy Pelosi's relative. At this point, you are not being progressive. You have fallen right in line with the Democrat establishment. You are now one of them. And all of us that donated to you, that supported you, everyone that gave their last to get you into office, to get you to beat Crowley, it's embarrassing. Gavin Newsom is related to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi comes from a political dynasty, you guys. Her father was in politics in Baltimore. I believe it was Baltimore. Her daughter is next up in line. Nancy Pelosi used to babysit the Kennedys. It's all connected. All of these people are connected. So at this point, the impression watching AOC in that video, this is basically telling, you know what it's saying to me? She's looking out for her career. That is why she's doing this. That's not a part of her job. She didn't have to, she's not required to make that video in her car while she's driving saying, go out there and support Gavin Newsom. This is something she did on her own. Now, she can do all of that, but she couldn't tell you to go to the Capitol and support rent cancellation. She couldn't tell you to go to the marches for Medicare for all, to fight for healthcare in this country. She couldn't talk about that. But she can get on her phone and tell you to go vote for this clown. The same guy who told everybody to stay at home and to wear a mask, who's out at a fancy restaurant doing the exact opposite of what he told people in California to do. So you lock those people down, but you got to continue to live your life. Money. See how the wealthy can just go on, continue like nothing ever happened? It's a disgrace. Thanks so much, Roger Meadows, for the super chat. AOC became Leah to Nancy. Jabba, became Leia to Nancy. Jabba in Return of the Jedi. You guys have not seen Star Wars, you need to watch. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Have to watch. Greetings, Natural Law. What is up? He said, Sabby, Sabs. Joy said, AOC did not tweet about the Medicare for All event 2 months ago, right? Not from what I saw. I don't think any of them did. That was the thing that was really bothersome. It's like, you can do all of this. Come on. They didn't even, if they would have told people that they were going to be protesting at the Capitol to extend the eviction moratorium, which I told you even back then, the ask should have been greater. They should have been asking for rent cancellation. If they really wanted that to be like a thing, they could have tweeted about that a week beforehand. And people would have found a way to be there in DC at that Capitol. Thousands of people could have come out. But they didn't want that. They didn't really want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really trying to do big change. Why would you not promote that? That's like having a concert. You're a musician and you're going to have a concert and not telling any damn body. Mystical Opticism said AOC doesn't fight, period. She just automatically submits to the establishment. She's a coward. I would vote yes to recall AOC too. Ooh, damn. Ouch. That was deep. Phenomenal mysticism. That was yikes. Yikes. Gamer for Life said, I prefer Star Trek, but I also like some Star Wars. I like both of them. Impossibly Black says Democrats will blame Black voters if Newsom is recalled. It'll be our fault. Just terrible. Just terrible. This is what she's doing, guys. This is what she's doing. Steve said, I live in LA and I voted to recall, even though the challengers all suck too. Well, hell, I mean, you have Larry Elder. Larry Elder said that reparations should go to slave owners. And yes, Larry Elder is a Black guy. He said reparations should go to the slave owners, to the masters. That's what Larry Elder said. This is who you have to choose between in California. Eric said, until there's a true left choice, I don't care which corporate shill gets elected. There you go. How did this guy even get in? Let's think about something for a second. You think back towards the primaries, Bernie kind of dominated California. Dominated California. How the hell did Gavin Newsom win? Well, it just so happens if you have a relative who's Speaker of the House in Congress, pretty famous politician. Nancy Pelosi didn't even have to debate Shahid Buttar. How do you not have to debate? Where Pilgrim said you have 40 plus people to choose from. If there was a coherent strategy, there would be a backup candidate to rally behind to prevent any chance of Elder winning. Here you go. Lost adult. Sabby, please give me a brain warning before you say something like that. I think I'm getting a migraine. I'm sorry. No, I had to watch that video multiple times because I first heard it. It was in the background. I had to watch it multiple times to tell myself that I was not hearing things, that he really did just say this. Said it to Candace Owens, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. Robert Lowell said there's a lot of rich folk in her district, in Pelosi's district. Yep. Yeah. Thanks so much for the super chat, Roger. New Jersey Governor Kornzine got dragged for not wearing a seatbelt as he incurred serious injury in an accident and he was dealt a blow in the general elect by Krispy Kreme Chrissy. You call Chris Christie Krispy Kreme? That's funny. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So he was dealt a blow by Chris Christie. Thanks so much for the super chat. Brenda Holiday said Andrea Campbell for mayor in Boston. I like her. Yeah, I haven't decided who I think would be the best fit for mayor in Boston. I feel like I go back and forth between her and Michelle. I have to spend more time looking into it. That's for sure. I need to do more research about that. Yeah. So that's AOC for you in a nutshell. This is where we're at now, ladies and gentlemen. This is what is happening. Mr. X said, I don't like either Newsom or Elder. Both are shit. But if I had to choose, I'd pick Elders just to shake things up. Oh, damn, Mr. X. Well, damn. Little Rock said, remember, Sabby, we are supposed to be nice to AOC and the rest of the squad. We're not supposed to be violent, as a certain YouTuber have said. Ha. Anybody that I've given my money to, you know what I mean? Like, come on, guys. Anyone that I've given my money to, I can criticize all the hell I want. Okay? It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But this is where we are. This is where we are now. Because she made that video because she feels that that is actually really important. Make that video about healthcare. Make that video about healthcare. Make it about Medicare for all. I can't remember the last time I heard AOC even promote Medicare for all. And then people don't understand. They say to us, how can you need to give them some slack. You need to go easier on them. No, you have to understand this is the reason why people don't trust politicians, because this is what they do. They say that They're going to fight for these things when they get into office, and then they get there and they don't. They're comfortable now. Just got to ride this out for 5 years and get that pension. Get those speaking fees. Book deals. Just got to ride this out for 5 years. Troy C said people thought that voting for Trump would shake things up. And well, here we are. There you go. Vote AOC out by letting the GOP win if there's no independent running. What are we going to do, guys? Because I don't like to just talk about the problems. I also like to talk about possible solutions. What are we going to do? I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to vote for a Democrat. I need a third party candidate, a strong third party candidate. That's what I need. That's what's going to drive me back out to the ballot box. Because I've been so bitter since 2012, since Obama. I've been bitter, man. And every time it's another election and another person is introduced, I think this is going to be the guy to do it. This is going to be the woman to do it. And every time I'm disappointed. And the problem is, as long as you're a part of one of those two parties, your interest is in corporations first. We come last. The people come last, even though we're the ones that put them in office. They're public servants. They're supposed to be serving the people, but they serve Wall Street. They serve Big Pharma. So for me, I need a strong, viable third party candidate. That's what I need. Because at this point, if I don't have that next election, I think I'll just go grab my ballot, go to City Hall, grab my ballot, and I'll write in someone's name. Hell. Phenomenal Mysticism said, don't donate to politicians and political parties, donate to direct action and mutual aid. Absolutely. And if you are new, because I usually bring this up, if you are new, definitely go check out mutualaidhub.org. I think I spelled mutual wrong. I spelled mutual wrong. Hold on, guys. Mutualaid.org. Hub.org in the chat so you can find mutual aid groups in your area. There are several of them, you guys. The whole US map is there. And you just pick your state, pick your city, and you can see all the things going on around you. But absolutely donate to that instead. At least you know you'll be helping people in your community. Typo. Yeah, I know. I was like, I think I spelled it wrong. Let me make sure I get it from up here. Yeah, I did spell it wrong. Okay, here we go. But this really works because I've used this to find groups in my area as well. That's what I've been doing. Steve said, Robert Hutchings, you have no idea how bad it is. I've been here all my life. It used to be wonderful. Talking about California, huh? Yeah, I've heard stories from people that grew up in California, talking about the homeless situation in California. And it's happening in a lot of places, man. Troy said, I'll donate to the dumb left screw tube before a plastic politician. The dumb left. Jean said, good news is that Amazon employees won the right to vote again for a union or not. The last voting round was thrown out. We have to start fighting back, you guys. We have to start fighting back. I'm going to tell you guys a little short story, and I promise I will be short this time. Some of you know this, but over the past week, we've lost multiple coworkers at my job. I mean, like back to back to back to back. And people are tired. People are tired of being overworked. They're tired of being underpaid. They're tired of not getting the benefits they should get. They're tired of not getting promoted. They are tired of having to do all of that under the conditions of the pandemic. And people are just not putting up with it anymore. So the high turnover that a lot of companies are experiencing right now, that's the people standing up and saying, oh, hells no. Some of us have been working from home for over a year, and then they rushed everybody back into the office. Why? When I was working from home, I got to see what work-life balance really should be like. And now we don't have that again. And now we're short-staffed. And now we're overworked even more. And we can't hire for some people's positions. So workers are starting to stand up. Workers are starting to speak out. And people are starting to say, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to put up with this anymore. And that leads me to my final thought and piece. Shout out to Teresa Ellis. Just found this channel, just subbed. Looks like a good one. Welcome. Hello. Nice to meet you. Always love meeting new people. General strike. Something huge is happening. I want to show you this. What we are doing over at Fred Hampton Leftist. This is going to be, I think this is really going to be, this is going to do big things. Let me just put it that way. Trying to find a way to phrase it. I'm like, I think this is going to do big things. We have something coming up in November, but we're trying to go ahead and get the word out now. So I am going to share my screen. And I look forward to seeing you all of you at this when we do this. This is going to be a big thing. General Strike Summit. That's right, ladies and gents. Fred Hampton Leftists announced the General Strike Summit Friday, November 12th through Sunday, November 14th, streaming each day from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., inviting many comrades like Cornel West, Bree, Jimmy Dore, Lee Camp, and Proud Socialists. Here's the picture here for the event. Why does it do it like that? Oh, well, it still fits. All right. Here's the picture here for the event. This is going to be a great thing, you guys. We are going to be collaborating with other leftist commentators, activists, organizers, and we are going to talk about General Strike 101, strike workshops, organizing mutual aid, union FAQs, activist roundtables, and a bill pay clinic. November 12th through November 14th, we are doing the damn thing. When we talk to you guys about doing a general strike, when we tell you about donating mutual aid, these are not just things that we feel should be done. These are things that we actively participate in ourselves. And we've seen the difference, and we see how it works, and we see how it helps your community. And now we want to take the time to teach everybody else how to do the same thing. We are at a point in this country where we have to move beyond politicians. We have to move beyond Democrat, Republican. We have to look out for each other because neither party is going to do it. We have to work on building community again. At one point in this country, communities used to be stronger. We need to go back to doing that again. So definitely join us for that. You're going to hear more and more about that over the next couple of weeks from different members from FHL. And I look forward to it. You guys are going to see some awesome people like during that summit. And our goal is to teach you, and hopefully you learn something from it, and to see how you can implement some of these same strategies in your own community. We're not here for, fame or a celebrity or whatever. We're here to bring our activism to platforms and to teach people and to show people how some of these things, some of these issues that we're fighting for, that Bernie told us to fight for, how we can possibly get some of these things done through strikes. And it's going to take a lot of us, and it won't be easy, but I'm not going to stop trying, because Bernie started a movement and he walked away from it. Some of us are still here. We're asking for more now. Whatever, man. Sabby Sabs has FHL contacted Richard Wolff. Yeah, we interviewed Richard Wolff back in... That was a couple of months ago on FHL, and I interviewed Richard Wolff on my channel. When was that? In May? Maybe that was June. It might have been June when I interviewed Richard Wolff, but it's on my channel if you search for it. But yeah, oh, definitely. We had to talk to him. we had to talk to him. Steve said Nick did a good job on Jimmy's show. Hopefully FHL picked up some more exposure. Oh, yeah. Nick was good last night. That was awesome. That was awesome. Signa said, Sabby Sabs, watch the BJG interview of David Moore of the Socialist Equality Party, then explain why you won't support him. Thank you. Why I won't support him? Okay, I'll watch it. I don't know what it's about, but I'll watch it. I'll check it out. Thanks, Sabby. Love your show. Thanks so much, Ramsey. That's really sweet of you. Yeah. Yep. Richard Wolff and Chris Hedges and Cornel West are the top Titanic trio. Yeah. No, I love hearing them speak. But definitely, I'm not going to keep you guys much longer. Oh, Bill, you missed it? Oh, no. Yeah. Hopefully, today's Friday. Hopefully the clips will be up over the weekend. That was really good. That was a good show. That's right, Eric. Nick brought it. He brought the heat. He brought it. Loved Nick's line on Jimmy Dore. If you're not angry, you're complicit. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I said this earlier today. Some of us can't just sit back and go to brunch again. Hi, Lawrence Johnson. Hello. Turncoat Dawn said, I have it recorded. How did you do that? Oh, I wonder if you screen recorded it. Maybe that's what you did. I don't know. Nick's a smart cat, but so humble. Yep. Hey, Diane. Hi, Sabby. Sorry I'm late. Grandkids, I'll watch this over. Oh, no worries. I understand. Trust me. I was late today too. I was late. I was late to my FHL show because of traffic. Fridays is just a something, I tell you. I'm angry about Joe Biden's speech last night. Yeah. Yep. Joy Duncan said, but the Hollywood bunch are at brunch. That's true. That's true. Steve said Jimmy's got FHL's back. Yeah, he's been like so supportive, you guys. I have to tell you, very supportive. If you can afford $10 a month, you can rewatch the live streams on his website. Oh, there you go. I forget who it was that said that they missed it, but there you go. That's good to know. Yes, be sure to do that. I do that. I forget to say this sometimes. Make sure you subscribe to FHL. Make sure you subscribe to to FHL and see all the things that we're doing over there. Great peeps. We're like family, you guys. Like honestly, we're doing big things. All right. This is it for me tonight. So I am going to let you guys go. And I hope that all of you have a wonderful weekend. And if you are new, if you're new to my show, feel free to share with other people. And as we usually do, guys, have a good night. Keep up the fight.